Hello, and this is Gemma from The Crafty Little Gem. Thank you for joining me today. I'm doing something a bit different today, and we are going to be using an embroidery hoop and some fabric. So this is what I've come up with, and this is using another stamp set from the Stampin' Up, and we're going to use this one this time. However, I've got a smaller hoop and just some white cotton fabric. So the first thing that you're going to do is you're going to get your hoop and you're going to get your fabric. You're also going to take out the stamp set that you want. So I'm going to be using this one, and you're going to make sure your stamp set fits within your embroidery hoop. So then I'm going to grab my scissors and I'm going to cut quite a chunk off so I've got some edges, and we can get rid of that. So what we can do then is we're going to do some stamping, and it does need to be in the stays on. I've ironed this flat so there's no creases or anything in it at all. We are going to load up our stamp block, and we're obviously going to aim for the middle. Now what you can do is you can do some practice stamping beforehand if you wish. I'm just going to go straight for it, and I'm going to aim for the middle, and it's just going to go straight down. Hold it there for a few seconds and we can bring it up. So that is what we're aiming for, just a nice outline. And I'm just going to get those out of the way and remember to clean off our stamp. So I'm just going to pop that on my cleaning block to one side, like so. We can remove our stamping surface, and this is what we have. So I've got some acrylic markers at the side of me here, and I've also got just some Sharpie pens, just some permanent pens that we're going to be using to fill this in. And what I'm going to do first is, you can go over the lines on this because they do actually come back through. So on this one I've just gone around the edges with some of the thread, but on this one I've actually left it on the outside and I've just done the middle. So even if you go over the edges of your outline, it does come back through. So it doesn't look like I've used this white one. So we're just going to get it started by pressing down and letting the ink come through. You could also use acrylic paint. That's it, it's coming through now, and I'm just actually going to make these cushions at the back a little bit more pronounced on this white. So even though I am going over these bits will come back through when it is dry, and you definitely need to use stays on, and that's what I'm doing on those. That can go back in, and then what I am going to do is I'm going to do her trousers at the bottom, which I think I'm going to have in a blue. So again, we're just getting these pens ready to use. If you can see it just coming through, it's just got this tip at the bottom that needs to go. Okay, there we go. And I'm just going to go on these trousers like so. And what I would suggest is, if like me, you've just started that off, just going to go around there a bit. It is quite juicy, so start in the middle. So start here and then bring the ink out. like so. You really do not need a lot at all on those. So that is that. I'm then going to go in, and I think we will have I'm going to try this metallic pen. Can't even remember where this is from, but I'm going to have this on the book. And again, I'm not actually pressing down. There's something on that I don't like. I'm not actually pressing hard on the fabric. But this is obviously our book cover. Like so. So you just have to be quite careful with the pens that you're using and making sure that they're not going to leak and go over the edges. Now I have got, I'm not going to go in with that one, I don't think. I think I'm going to go in with my glitter pen. I'm going to go in with this just to add and spread that ink slightly on there. Make sure we clean that off, and that is good. Lift it up. I'm then just going to carry on doing all the things that I need to do on this, and I'm going to set it to one side, and I'm actually going to let it dry before we go on to do the embroidering around the outside. Okay, so I'll get this done and then I'll be back. So hello, I am back, and I have just managed to colour this in. As you can see, it's just drying, so the black outlines are just starting to come back through. But what I'm going to do is so with this one, you need to just be a little bit careful, because I went straight on to the blue cup over the green background, and because the green background was still a little bit wet, the blue did smudge a little bit. So it's better to do one area, then go right across to the other side, and then come back again, leaving each area just to dry off slightly. But the darker outline is starting to come through now as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to leave that to dry, ready for when we're actually going to do the embroidery outline. Okay, so I shall see you when we are going to start to do that. Hello, so we are back, and this is the finished one that I have. So I've gone ahead and just popped it in the hoop, made sure everything is tight around the outside. I have got a little bit of bleeding here, but it's only because I went over it with some of the just a fine liner black pen. And then what I've done here is, when this has all been dried, I've gone in with the darker colour just to pick up some areas of where I need. So what we're going to do is we are going to grab our needle and our threader in my case, and we are just going to get some embroidery thread. Now you only want to take 3 of the threads, which I have split this one up already, because you get 6. There we go. Get that on, pull that through, and we are in. So this is probably quite a little bit too much for this, but this is how it comes. So you grab one of the thicker strands like so, and then what you're actually going to do is you can actually split that up into half. So there's 6 strands in there. We'll move that one out of the way, and then all I'm going to do is I'm going to come in from wherever I want to start. I actually want to, yeah, we'll do it that way. And all I'm going to do is go around some of the edges however I want to. So I'm going to start here. I'm going to go straight to this point in here. But then what I'm going to do is, because that's going to cause a straight line, actually that's not too bad. So I'm going to leave that as it is because I quite like that. But I'm going to come right down to this one here and then come back on myself up to here. So I'm going to come back up. So we're not doing loads of little stitches. We're just doing the outline, and then you see how it lays. So I want that just to come over to the right a bit, just so it's not so sharp. So I'm going to pull it out a little bit. I'm going to come into the middle of here. I'm hoping that you can see this. And I'm going to come out one side of the thread, but I'm actually going to go straight in over the thread, and I'm going to come straight back in, and that's actually going to pull that thread to where I want it to be. You do have to play about a bit sometimes to get where you want. So I'm just going to pull that through, and I can pull that so it tightens it up. So my next little one is going to be down here. I'm going to bring that back to where that other one started, and that's going to go through. I'm going to pull that tight. We're going to see whether we like that or not, but I want that moved up again. So I'm going to go back. I'm really hoping that you can see this. I'm going to go back up into that line there. And then I'm going to come round and underneath and back through the same hole, just to pull that up slightly. I've got another one there where it just changes direction slightly. So let's get that through there. I'm going to pop it back through the hole that I started with on the other one. And again, I want that just up. So I'm then going to come across my stitch and back down the other side to bring that up and over. And then my last one for the outline of this side is going to be just above the handle of the coffee cup, if I can get it. Pull it through, and that one is going to go in the start of the last one. So that is going to go there. I'm hoping I'm going to pull that right up to the top so you can see. And that is where I'm going to stop on that one. So I'm just going to tie it off on the back, because even though the back is still going to be as messier than the front, we still want it to be as neat as what we can be. I'm going to tie that off and cut that. I'm then going to tie a knot in this side again, a double knot to make sure it definitely doesn't come through, like so. That's a little bit too much on that end, so I'm just going to cut it a little bit shorter, and then I'm going to start on the other side. So you don't have to go around all of the edges, you're just emphasising some of them that you want to do. So again, I'm just going to go in this top bit, and I'm going to come down this side, but I'm actually going to do all of that bit there. So through there and through that bit, and then I'm coming right down to here because I want to come back up on myself and through that other hole that we created. I want that to move up slightly to do a little bit of a curve. So where the curve is, I'm just going to pop my needle through, pull, and then go over the top of my thread again. and I'm going to come back down the other side, and can you just see that's just pulled that up to give it a slight arch. I'm going to come down to this small bit here now, make sure that's where I want it to be, pull that and take it back through that last stitch. Again, I want it to have a little bit of an arch, so where that arch starts, I'm going to pop my needle back up, pull all of the thread into the middle, and that's actually going to secure that one in place as well. So now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to start here, and I'm going to come right down to the bottom here. So now we can see that that's just one big straight line. So I want this to tuck up here. So where that arch starts, I'm going to pull it back through, gather all of that up underneath and pull. And then can you see it goes up again and then it comes down. So again, it's actually, I'm going to pop it there where we have that one, and then I just want that one to come down a bit just so it's on that line. So we'll get all of that out the way, pop my needle in where I need it to come down to, push it all down and in and back through that hole. So now, instead of having just one line straight down from there to there, we have created the curve going down. We have this little bit here that we want to sort out because that is part of the outline. So I'm just going to pop that through there and back through that main hole there, and I'm happy with that. So then I'm going to come all the way down to this last bit here and bring it up just where it goes past that little line. And again, because we've just got a straight line there and I don't want it to be straight, I'm going to pop my needle in the middle, pull all of that down and pop it straight through that hole that I've just created. So now that has just caused a curve around this area here. And this side I am just going to do this bit. So here, and then I'm going to do this one here. So where you're concentrating on where you stamped the outlines, and all you're doing is really going from one end to the other and then creating your curve that you need. So I need a curve in this bit here. So then I'm going to bring it all back and underneath and back through that hole that I've just done. So it's just created a slight curve, and that's that colour that I'm going to finish with. So again, I'm going to carry on doing all the other colours in exactly the same way, tying a knot in the end and doing back stitches, but longer back stitches on some of them. So I'll probably go around the book, and I might do her trousers and maybe some of her socks. So see me again afterwards for when I have embroidered just around these edges, and I should hopefully show you some bits that we can do with her hair. Okay, so while I'm back, I have done the trousers and I'll do the book and the socks after, but I just wanted to show you the hair. So all I'm going to do with the hair is start like I did do before. You just go in through one and out the other, but I'm coming back up on myself with this one, and we're going to keep the stitches quite close, but we're actually going around her hairline. Like so. Okay. This is because I've got too much thread, I think. It's too long, so we must remember to keep your thread quite short, and we'll get there. But what we're going to do is, can you see, it looks like it's been gathered up here, but we're actually going to keep going straight up to each one and then come back down, and then we're going to do the stitch of how we did here, all in the middle there, so it all gathers up. So if you wish to fast forward this bit, you can do. That's up to you, but I will just keep on going. Going from one end to the other. Oh. With my stitches, like so. Oh. And then I'm going to go right to the end there. So I will carry on going all the way across, and once I've done that bit, I'll then come back and show you how to do that, and then we're just going to do this bit here in exactly the same way that we've done some of these. Hello, so I'm hoping that you can see that. I have had to change the light a little bit so I could see, but we've gone all the way across here. So now if you want it to look like she's got a hair bobbling, this is where you change the colour. However, I'm not, but I'm going to come back up the other side here. So find that point with your nail and your twine, and I'm actually going to come back through there, I think, and I'm going to pull that tight. I'm then going to come back through this side and do that again, and then I'm going to do it one more time. So back through this side through exactly the same hole and back through that side there. Then I'm going to come in from the back side up here, and you can just see where your needle starts to push against the fabric, and I'm going to bring it right back straight up to here, and we have a straight line, but we have a curve in it here. So again, bringing all of that through, having all of that cotton brought to that side, and then we have one here, so that is then going to be brought to that side for the curl. So again, I'm going to bring it upside, move all of that down to there and bring that to that side. So that is what you actually have for the hair. I'm going to carry on doing the book. I think I might do the socks, I might not, but then what I'll do is I'll pop a picture up of it afterwards, and I think I've got a pen that actually erases ink like that as well. But these make a really nice gift for anybody. All you're going to do afterwards is cut these corners off and stitch these in and pull it tight, and that will get rid of all of that there for you, and that's just a slip stitch round that on the back. Okay, I'll see you next time. Bye bye for now. So I have finished all the embroidery that I'm going to do on the front, and we're going to gather in round the back. So first of all, I have threaded my cotton, and I'm hoping that I'm trying to get my light right if I can. Can you see that? Not, I've got quite a lot on the end, and all I'm going to do is come in again through the back and pull, and then I'm just going to start to do a slip stitch round the rest of the fabric on the back. And as you go, you can pull it quite tight. This doesn't have to be mega neat, but can you see as I'm pulling that in, that side's already gone in. So we'll carry on and do this side. And again, once that's in, it's going to pull in on the back like so. And just get that thin bit there. And carry on round. And as you can see, my fabric's a little bit short here, so all I'm going to do is just come right up to this top again and just back through to there. And then with that long tail that we've got, we can just tie it off. I'm going to cut that off there, so I've got quite a bit to work with on one side. And it can get a bit fiddly, but once you've done your first knot, that bit didn't want to be included. I'm going to get that round there with my nail, bring it up and through, and then all you've got to do is do it one more time. If you can, pull it through, and then we can just cut all the oddments off, and then when you turn it round, you've got a nice little present for somebody. So I do hope you like that. I do hope you have a go, and I shall see you next time. Thanks ever so much and being patient with me over doing this tutorial. I know there's been a lot of starting and stopping, but it is worth it in the end. Thanks ever so much, everybody, and bye bye for now.